Welcome back to another episode of the 20-something series. It is a visual podcast. If this is the first time you're watching, visual podcast about pretty much life in your 20s, everything about it. But today we're going to be talking about obstacles. We're going to be talking about obstacles with an amazing person, Snow Silver. Snow is a musician, a singer, artist, health and wellness advocate. I mean, she lives by it, she speaks by it, and she's a personal trainer herself. She's also a person with a great story that I think you can learn from. In this episode, we talk about obstacles, the ruts we put ourselves in sometimes, the people that we surround ourselves by, and our relationship with control and how that correlates with what life can throw at us. So I hope you enjoy. Well, welcome to the 20-something series, another episode. Today we have Snow.
Hello.
Is that what you go by, Snow?
Yeah, Snow Silver.
Snow Silver.
Yes.
God, that's a dope name, man.
Thank you.
Gosh, okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, okay. And this episode, or this podcast overall, is about people in their 20s in this decade. So how's your 20s going?
20s are gnarly.
Gnarly, gosh.
Yes.
Same.
Totally different, though, from being 21 to 25, which is crazy.
What's the difference? I'm 21 now.
21. It's insane. I feel like it's even like your teens. You just think you know what you want. You got it all figured out. And not that you know everything, but you're just like, I got this. And then life hits you in so many different ways. In just even 2-3 years, everything's so different.
Well, that's actually kind of gearing towards what we're going to talk about. Life hitting you like randomly. Right when you expect it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and when you don't.
Yeah, when you don't.
You're like, oh.
So finish the sentence for me, okay?
Yes.
Obstacles are...
Growing pains.
Why is that?
Because I feel like even if you're ready for an obstacle or not, it can go in so many directions. And I feel like you're gonna grow from it, and it's like uncomfortable. It's like taking you out of your comfort zone, but you grow from it, even if like it being painful, or not that it always has to be painful. But I think being uncomfortable, can be a little
helpful.
Yeah, helpful, and
in a way.
and still be painful. So at the end of the day, you're gonna grow from it. So obstacles are growing pains, kind of.
I would totally agree with that, though. Yeah.
You catch the vibe.
Yeah, I catch the vibe a little bit. Yeah. I read this caption from this person on Instagram, and she was kind of talking about that a little bit, but she was narrowing in towards, like, for her instance, I guess, like, it's more toxic people, I guess. So she was talking about how sometimes you want to just distance yourself from people and you realize they're not good for you. And you realize that they're bad in the moment, but good for the journey. You know what I mean? They're you know that they're bad, so you're distancing yourself. But if you never met them, you never experienced all those things with them, to know that that's not good for you, you would never learn those lessons. So it's kind of good in the overall for your journey. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I think that relates exactly to what you're saying.
I love that.
Yeah.
Because and you love them, so that's why you stick around too. Maybe you just have such this gravitational pull towards them, and they're bad, but it's almost like you want it more when it's bad. That's what I learned too in my 20s. You want everything that's bad for you, and I'm
why is that though?
Yeah,
I don't understand.
I'm like, girl, that's bad for you. Stay away.
Yeah,
you have to remind yourself 20 times sometimes
because you've been there.
Oh yeah.
So it's like
all the bad stuff.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
I've done it.
Yeah, and now I'm like the good stuff is gonna make you feel good in the long run. The bad stuff just is like temporary happiness and all temporary.
All temporary.
Yeah, the good is longevity, if you will.
Longevity.
And that's what I'm always aiming for. And I'm like, what's gonna benefit me in
the long run?
In the long run, not just like today, not just for this half hour, or just what in the future.
In the future.
Let's get there and let it be good.
So then you're gonna succeed.
Yeah.
You will succeed.
Yeah, you hang on to the bad. You almost find yourself in the cycle all the time then when you're staying with those toxic people or still sticking with those bad things. You're just always end up in the same spot, I feel like, emotionally or mentally, or almost in the same place, because those toxic people hold you back constantly, and you don't even realize it.
And like you're subconscious. It's not like you want that, or it's not like you know and you just keep going knowing that. It's like
until something happens sometimes too, well, you might wake up. Maybe,
hopefully.
Maybe. Some people don't.
Besides toxic people, what are some other obstacles you think that you've personally faced?
Toxic people is definitely a good one. I just have to say right off the bat, an obstacle of being ill or being sick, if you will.
How so?
Life just threw me a curveball and was like, listen, you're going to just not feel good, you know, and you're not going to know why, but it's up to you to figure it out and figure out how to make yourself better, you know, because it's up to you at the end of the day, you know. That's the thing with obstacles too. It's just like, all right, what are we going to do with this obstacle? Are we going to, you know, really learn from it? Are we going to grow from it? Are we going to face it head on? Are we going to run from it? Are we going to, you know, there's so many different ways, you know, you can handle an obstacle. And I feel like that's what most people did. And what I did for so long is you would just like run from things, run from your own feelings, run from your own, maybe where you came from, or, you know, family, or, you know, instead of just like handling it head on.
Now, you say like with sickness, personal sickness, having the obstacle be yourself, how is that different from obstacle being something that's not you? Like you're not living in it. You're not like you can't walk away from it.
Correct. Yeah.
So how is that different than like any other obstacle?
Oh my God. It's like, I've always been very about acceptance in life, like accepting your journey, accepting you can't change, like I mentioned, where you come from, your family, or many things. You just have to accept things for the way they are 100% of the time, if you will. But not being able to run. Her name is Georgina.
Her name?
I named my illness Georgina.
Okay, all right. Why Georgina?
We had to become friends. I don't know. Like, I don't want to offend anyone that's named Georgina.
Oh, yo, imagine. It's a great name.
It's
a great name still.
No, yeah.
But it just felt right.
Yeah, so it seemed like Georgia's down south, so I just feel like it's like, it was kind of just like all of this is just like, I don't know if that makes sense. I didn't know that. I just named her Georgina because I thought of Georgia and like being, I don't know, like my mind and body is in two totally different places, but we had to like come together and I had to accept it and befriend it, and I'm learning from her.
So like, what was your beginning relationship with Georgina, and then what's your relationship with Georgina?
I didn't get out of bed for 4 months when Georgina came into my life.
4 months.
4 months. I was like not working. I was just bedbound, like dead. Just could not deal at all. But now I'm working out every single day. I am working again, and yeah, it's just such a different world because I had to make peace with her. I had to like be like, what are you teaching me? Are we gonna like continue to stay in bed and just like be in a dark room and, you know, be upset about it? Or are we gonna like kick ass, you know?
Hey,
that's what it's about. For every obstacle, you gotta just kick ass.
Kick ass. So first you like looked at it, analyzed it, and then figured out how to overcome it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, how are we going to do this?
How are we going to do this?
Yeah, you know.
Because what's the alternative?
Yeah, and any obstacle in life, you sometimes pity yourself, too, and if life will put you through an obstacle or put something in front of you. And that's why I was so sad for myself, if you will. I was like, why is this happening to me? Like, what does this mean? Until I really got to have no choice but to just sit with myself. Like, I could not run from this at all. You know, there was nothing that that could take it away.
Yeah, I remember we had a conversation the other day. Like, I think maybe the second time I met you, we were talking about, like, these pity parties we put ourselves through. Like, and how just utterly just miserable they are. I don't know why we do that.
Yeah, and the statement, misery loves company, is so real when you think about, like, gossiping with someone and you just, everyone talks about how sad they are together, or, like, their problems. It's not just, why don't we talk about, like, our goals and, like, what makes us happy, or, like, what you're going to do tomorrow to reach your goal in the future. You know, it just becomes this, like, toxic tsunami.
Yeah. Tsunami.
Yeah.
Just,
you know.
But speaking of a family, because I feel like that could be a huge obstacle.
Oh, yes.
In terms of, like, I mean, most people love their family, regardless of what they do.
All love. All the time.
All love. But sometimes they could be as toxic as anyone else. So when it comes to that as an obstacle, and it's for people who have, like, family that just aren't really good influences, do you think it's okay to distance yourself from people like that, even though they are family? Where's your line with that?
Yes, you have to, for you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy because you don't, for me, I like love so much and I always want to be there for other people, and it's like, I don't want to hurt their feelings, or I'm just going to do this for them, but I'm being hurt like while I'm being there for them, and that's not okay. You know, like, I don't think that's like 50-50 love, if you will. You know, you got to make sure you both are feeling good and you both are meeting each other in the middle, and you're not hurting them nor they hurting you. You know, it should just be genuine love. It shouldn't be I'm giving you all my love and all my energy, but I'm actually being hurt by you, you know.
Right.
So family, blood, you gotta just...
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You have to.
And even with friends, like sometimes when you see friends, like they're in the same spot. Like I'm 21 and I see friends who are, I have friends who are like older and they're still doing the same things when I met them when I was 17. And I'm like, you have to change. Like you have to, like, come on. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I don't understand why.
And it's so easy. You create these memories with these people.
Yeah,
and
you feel
so
almost
much.
tied to them.
Oh,
like,
so connected.
There's time in your life where like they helped you. They were like closer than anything else. And now it's like, I don't know why you seem so far apart.
Yeah, because you want different things. Like when you're sitting alone by yourself, you're like analyzing it a little bit. You know, you're just like, you're staying in the same spot, and people talk about things that they want to do, and that's something I'm working on. All these things I talk about wanting to do, you have to act on it. Like, write that down. What are you going to do to make it happen? You know, it sounds so easy, if you will, but half the time I found myself stuck with people that weren't doing it, nor was I, you know, and you are who you surround yourself with. I'm so big on that.
It's huge.
As much as you don't want to believe it, it's
huge.
That's it.
Someone told me once, show me your 5 closest friends around you, and that's exactly who you are.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
So like reflect on that, and it's like, oof.
Yeah.
Like
you need to reevaluate a lot of things right now.
Exactly. And sometimes you have to like isolate yourself, and you find yourself, I feel like, very alone. Like when I had to distance myself from a lot of people in life to just be in a different place, especially with Georgina. It just took me in a totally different realm, if you will. And
how did people around you react to when Georgina just appeared out of nowhere?
My friends were super supportive. Right. So was my boyfriend. He was super, super supportive and helpful, but I don't think, anybody really understood it. And I felt like there was no proof, black and white, wise what was going on with me, because it's still a very unknown area. Right. I'm pretty much super undiagnosed. So it's just no proof, if you will. But I'm feeling it, so it was kind of uncomfortable for me even to like not even be able to explain what I'm feeling and going through, being 25 years old. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know something's wrong with me here, right, I'm a very active, always on the go person, and then one day I'm in bed for 4 months straight, and it doesn't make any sense. I've always dealt with depression. Like my mom, people are saying, oh, you're just sad, or you're stressed out, and I'm like, yeah, I guess everyone's stressed out a little bit, but not to the point where I'm sitting in bed for 4 months. Right,
this is something different.
Yeah, I was always on the go, and it just hit me one day. So, yeah, everyone, for the most part, has been very supportive. I have a lot of people in my corner that have been, oh my gosh, forever in their debt, but overall supportive. But I just still felt really weird that, I don't know, if anyone believed me, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's almost just like, there's no proof, but here we are.
Was family supportive? Because friends were...
I don't think too much at first.
Okay.
Yeah, not too much at first. And some more, I expected way more from them being my family. But like we talked about, you just, I don't know, I learned you can only count on you at the end of the day. That's how I felt. Like it was like with the pity party we talked about, right. It's up to you to like get yourself out of that. No matter how many people are there for you or in your corner, it's literally up to you to be like, I'm going to get myself out of this, and I got this, and we're gonna work on this, and we won't be here forever, but it's up to us to like change that and get there. And
sometimes to wake you up is just to visit. I find like older people who are still in that, and then you realize that you can be in it for years. You can be in it for the rest of your life. So it's not something that you could just, be in it for a couple of years and then you're gradually gonna get out. Like you get out when you want to get out.
And that's what I think I learned mostly about people I walked away from. I just don't want to end up like you, so I'm going to learn from you and learn from my obstacle and learn from yours and get it moving.
Exactly.
Like I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm trying to experience life
right.
and live and breathe and just feel so good. It's so crazy how much I took for granted feeling well.
Does that open your mind?
It's the most insane thing ever.
Like it has
like
to.
I just look around and I'm like, I wonder who's walking around feeling like me. And then I wonder who's walking around just like, I reminisce on how I used to feel. But I was crazy because I recently, almost a year and a half ago, I like stopped drinking. I stopped doing all these mind-altering things and body-altering things. So it's really insane to just live with no alterations, if you will. So it's really a crazy experience to look around. Sometimes I'm just like sitting there looking at people and just really thinking about, I wonder who feels like me, who's feeling sick right now. And I'm like sending them all the vibes to everyone who doesn't feel good to just push through their days, because it's insane. We have bills to pay. We have life. We can't just sit in a dark, no, you can't sit in a dark room for 4 months and think that it's going to change something, because it's
Fridge is still going to be full. Fridge ain't going to be full, you know what I mean?
At all. So it's been...
And it's weird that you can't really... You walking down the street, you would never know. You would never know. So
people are always like, you look so healthy. And I'm like, yeah, I feel it. I really feel it, you know? So it's crazy. You never know.
Do you think anyone's upbringing can affect how they are able to handle what comes at them in life?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yes, and
How so?
I feel like I had to teach myself a lot of things. I feel like I wasn't taught even simply how to like love, which sounds weird, you know? So yeah, or just like be a nice person, or just have a conversation and not like yell or throw things or punch you in the face, you know? So I had to teach myself. Communicate. It's a beautiful thing. It feels so much better to just like talk. Yeah. You know, and that's something I had to teach myself. How to
even
love.
Better listen. Like, gosh.
Yeah, and be open, and just not, life doesn't have to be a war zone, you know, at all. It's terrible. So teaching yourself things are possible, but you have to realize that you can change that. But it's a little weird sometimes when people don't change that or realize that they can, you know, they're always just in that just people being stuck in the same realm. But I love learning, and I'm so thankful that I actually have a soul, if you will, that's just like, we could teach ourselves things. We can grow. You don't have to stay the same forever or be who you are. That doesn't define you. Yes, it's beautiful. It's so amazing to change and evolve and learn and grow. It's so rad to be a human. Yeah, exactly. It so is.
Is there an obstacle that you feel like let's say you've gone through, you're over that, but you didn't realize it was an obstacle until now?
Yes.
Like, because sometimes when we're going through it, you're just like, what the heck? Why are we going through it? And we're just trying to get out of it. Like, we're just trying to get out. Once we're out, we're good. And then we look back and we're like, oh, that was there to teach me something.
Yes. I feel like I could put it into words. I ain't trying to say no names.
No, I don't. Yeah, I mean,
you know, like put anybody on blast.
You could use nicknames like Georgina.
Georgina, you're right. Sorry, I'm having a pause moment, but
no, it's okay.
We can call this person Will. I don't even think I know
Will's
Will.
Cool. All right, cool. Whatever, Will.
I don't know. It was somebody I was always in their corner, and I don't think it, like you mentioned, it just took so long for me to realize, like, I actually did want out this whole time. But I'm like, you're like my blood, and there's no way that I can remove myself from you, or like, it just doesn't make any sense that I even have to, that this is even a thought that I feel like I need to remove you from my life. So it was just like such a tough decision to make, to finally part ways, and it feels so good though. It almost feels like there should be guilt there because it's blood and fam, if you will. But it feels so amazing, and I'm so happy that obstacle is over. It just took me pretty much my whole life to just accept it and be like, I'm out. And it's really incredible to learn from such an obstacle of walking away from blood, like we mentioned a little bit. I don't even know if I'll ever like look back or at all. Like, sometimes people just won't change, and this person has 25 years plus on me, you know? So it's just, how am I so much more younger than you? And not that age really matters, but at a certain point, it's like, come on now.
Yeah, you know? I get that.
Yeah. So it's okay to cut people off for you and to be selfish sometimes. And it feels really good to be selfish sometimes in good ways, you know? Like, we all need that for us, you know. We have to pay attention to what leaves us feeling good at the end of the day, especially when we're doing so much good. It's not right to just always put out good and not get that equally back, especially from another person, if you will.
Like, you want to be equally yoked.
Yeah, everyone should all be 50-50.
Right.
Yeah, like what I'm bringing to the table, I should you. It's only right if you're investing a relationship and time and energy with somebody. Yeah.
Sometimes I feel guilty having this mindset when it comes to people around me, but it's like, what value do you bring in my life? And it's like, I'm not trying to take things from you. I'm not trying. That's not what I'm looking towards. But what value do you bring in my life? If there's none, then I'm going to question you being in my life. You
Absolutely.
Know what I mean?
But same thing for you. I ask myself, what value am I bringing this person? Am I bringing them the same thing that, and I almost don't accept anything from anyone. That's another thing, because that leads to just huge disappointment. You know, you just expect, and it just, when it doesn't happen, you're like, well, I would have done that for you. And I think that's where so much of my disappointment came from, expecting things from people, expecting things from family, especially like we mentioned the blood thing. But yeah, it's just, I think that's not selfish at all. I think it's a good thing to kind of think about that. Like, we're spending time, we're giving energy to each other. What do you bring to the table for me, and vice versa? What am I bringing to the table for you? I think it's an amazing way to grow.
So you think it's healthy?
Yeah, okay. Especially if it's 50-50. Yeah.
In terms of like your relationship with control, sometimes obstacles are out of control and out of control. Like Georgina was probably out of your control completely. How does that shift your relationship with control in terms of life before that and then afterwards? Like, are you more, when things get out of control, do you feel like you have more of a calm?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I used to be such an overwhelmed person,
yeah.
you know, and turned a lot to mind-altering things, like drinking way too much and being out of control in that way, and so many other ways. And it's really, and I amaze myself how much, you know, how much more control I have over my mind and my body. And, you know, for instance, sometimes I feel like I'm in the middle of a work transaction and I feel like I'm going to pass out, like I'm super dizzy. But it's amazing if you just calm yourself down. You're like, girl, you got this.
Like center yourself.
Literally, when I get up every single morning, I'm like, you got this. You got this. Like, do everything that you said you were going to do and do it. Like, you 1,000% got this. So it's amazing, because before it was just like, oh, this is too much. This is so overwhelming. This is happening and this is happening. But it's weird, because most of the time we're attracting it to ourselves anyway. You know, we're putting ourselves in these situations, we're putting ourselves in these environments and these relationships with people, and we're just only attracting it, honestly, because we have so much say at the end of the day of what we're doing, if you will. You know, not so much with our body if it's like freaking out on the inside and we don't know why, but
what we surround ourselves, the things we surround ourselves with, the people we surround ourselves with,
so much control.
We have control,
especially over our mind. You know, when you mind over matter, I've always used to say that and heard it and loved it, you know, but to actually live by it and feel it and understand it is a whole other level of when you're actually living by it.
But I feel like it's how you conquer obstacles. Like, you first, like what you did with Georgina, like analyzing it. I mean, you gave your time to feel, which is important too.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you have to do that, but also analyzing it and having control over the mind to be able to analyze it and figure out how to attack it. Where I feel like some people, honestly, sometimes we give it to ourselves, where it's like we make our own obstacles and like we create them and build them and then go through them, and then questioning why we're like wasting so much time in our life. But we're putting it on ourselves right now. Like, I don't understand.
So stupid sometimes, so stupid. But I mean, it's how we learn and grow. But it's about learning from your mistakes, you know.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was such a dummy for so long and kept making those mistakes over and over again.
No, you gotta. I mean, how's you gonna learn?
Yeah.
How's you gonna learn?
Yeah, but we can't make the same mistakes forever, you know?
Right. I mean, that's the issue. But you know, once or twice, you know.
Yeah, once or twice is okay.
Yeah, once or twice is okay.
Too many times is time to move on.
Now, what advice would you give to someone in terms of obstacles? Let's say, like, okay, they feel like nothing's going right in their life, everything's out of control. They're trying to touch it, but it's like water and just slipping away. I mean, where do you go from there? What would be the first thing you would do?
Sit with yourself, be with yourself, and get to know yourself. It's so important to just kind of remove yourself from all people, places, and things. It's kind of weird to say, but just really sit with yourself and get to know yourself and know what makes you truly happy is so important. And give it time. And if you're not happy and if you're going through certain obstacles, it's so important to change, switch it up. Literally think to yourself, how can I make this better? Or how can I make myself feel better in a positive way? And I think adding little bits of good things to your life a little bit at a time ends up being a big pile of good things.
Yeah.
And it evolves into something really great, you know, when you're just maybe going through obstacles and you're overwhelmed, and you're handling it poorly, you know, then you're kind of adding the bad things, you know, and that's when it gets even more mad, if you will. So it's really important to sit with yourself, get to know yourself, what makes you happy, and add positive little things a bit at a time. Sometimes it's really hard, especially if you're in the heat of the moment of the obstacle. But add those positive things little by little. It goes such a long way.
Yeah.
It goes such a long way.
Like day by day.
Yes.
And just take it day by day.
You have to.
What's the alternative? I mean...
Yeah.
There
ain't none.
Yeah. There ain't none. There ain't none at all.
Yeah, be negative or positive. You choose, you know.
Now, let's say we take you and we take you when you were 21, and then like she's sitting here and then you're sitting there, what would be the differences?
Everything.
Like everything.
Everything.
How you talk, how you walk, everything.
The red lipstick is still a thing.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. All right.
That still the same. Music, red lipstick, and tattoos. Corny, not all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, but soul wise, like what I do daily, what I stand for, it's so different. So different.
Isn't that beautiful though?
Yeah. Like
what 4 years could do.
Yeah. Like I totaled my car when I was 21 now. Come on, you know? You know, now it's like, girl, what were you doing? Get it together. Like you have goals. You want things out of life. You're so much better than that, you know? But like I was very overwhelmed by the obstacles in my life, and I just handled it so poorly. So I'm so thankful to still be here, to be able to grow and learn from all of that. Thankfully I did. Took me a little bit, but so crazy you're 21. I love that. No, it's amazing.
We'll see what happens.
I love how leveled you are.
I'm curious on what I would be like when I'm 25 and older. I would love to see that and see the difference. But you can't see it, you know? You can't I wish I could just see it.
Compare it to 18, maybe a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Then it's like totally different.
Yeah.
But then it's so crazy to think about. So
But 20s are totally different. Because you're like still in high school. Like it's once you're in the real world and like on your own and in the best way. For everyone who's going through the 20s. In the best way, you know? It's all great things. But yes, it really is. I think it's all good things.
But yeah, I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you got a chance to share everything.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think your story is awesome. Where can they find you? First of all, your music, okay?
Yes.
Okay, I need to ask this first before we close. How did you find music?
I've been singing since I was 3.
Okay.
I'm very Disney, like, what's the word? My foundation is Disney movies and music. So I started singing because obsessed with Disney.
Like which ones? We talking Hercules? We
like
talking
Little Mermaid. I was singing Snow White, Cinderella. Like I love Hercules though too. Don't get me wrong. But honestly, every Disney movie, I was just all about it. Disney movies and dinosaurs, weird, but yeah. So it all started then. I've been writing songs since I was like 7. I picked up my guitar. Annabelle, my best friend, she's amazing. Only picked up her like 3 years ago, but music my whole life till I die. Yeah, not like as much as everyone I feel like in my life growing up was like, you need to choose something else, you need to go after something else, you need to be someone else, you look too goth, what's with all the tattoo, everything, you know, just be a different person maybe. Nah, no way. Yeah,
thank God.
Yeah.
Sheesh. Gosh, I wouldn't imagine you without any other way. I would think it would be weird.
Yes, for anybody.
Yeah.
Stay true.
But yeah,
corny but true.
If you're listening to this, you need to check out her music. Where can they find it?
Well, I'm just on Instagram. New music is coming so soon. I can't wait for all of the things in the works. I'm so blessed. I feel blessed. But Snow Silver at Snow Silver with a 0. So SN0W Silver.
Definitely check her out.
Thank you.
Definitely check her out.
Check
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan of you.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Love going around.
Right. 50-50. What you mean?
Thank you, and thank you for coming here.
Thank you so much.
I got something out of it, so I know other people will. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, let me know. You know what to do. Give it a like, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Thank you, Snow, for being in it and being an awesome individual. Definitely check out her music. Check out her voice, man. Totally check it out. Her Instagram is going to be in the description below, along with any other links that she provides. But otherwise, I guess I will see you guys when I see you. Peace.
You left me with a broken heart. He fooled me twice and it's all my fault. He cut so deep and he left me scarred. Now there's so many thoughts going through my brain, and now I'm taking these shots like it's not